According to the Centers for Disease Control, opioids, both illicit and prescription, are the main drivers of drug overdose deaths. In Missouri, lawmakers, doctors, and authorities are all pushing for something to be done about the growing epidemic. Tonight, in this special report, ABC 17's Ashley Strohmeyer spoke to several experts in the industry here in mid-Missouri about what's being done to stop it, as well as if there's any light at the end of the tunnel in the push to stop it.
For the last year and a half, I've been following the opioid crisis in Missouri. Last February, I spoke to law enforcement, emergency room doctors, and lawmakers about what they're doing to combat this epidemic. So I talked to them all again, and I learned a lot has changed, but not for the better. The Missouri State Highway Patrol tells me they saw a significant increase in the number of prescription pills taken off Missouri streets from 2015 to 2016. Now, the number is actually pretty alarming and shows just how big of an issue it is right here at home.
For 16, we seized more than 16,000 of those pills, so that was a fairly significant increase over the year before that. The last several years have been in the 9,000 range.
Captain Hotz with the patrol isn't the only person in mid-Missouri who agrees there's been an increase in opioid use. An emergency room doctor at University Hospital has seen an increase in the last year as well and doesn't see an end in sight.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's a quick fix that's going to solve this problem. And it will probably have to get worse before it gets better.
He also made the point that people go to the doctor with the expectations that they've spent the money and they have to get a prescription. Since the beginning of the year, prevention specialist Heather Harlan says 23% of the calls she's gotten from people needing addiction help is from opioid use.
Most of us change because we see not because we see the light, but because we feel the heat.
Something that hasn't changed? The fact that Missouri is still the only state in America without a prescription drug monitoring program or a PDMP.
In Missouri, we have filibuster, and so we have a senator that has filibustered or threatened to filibuster every year. So I'm hopeful that within a year we could have it statewide, but it would be run by the counties.
Within a year is meaning Rob Schaaf will hit his term limit?
I meant within a year, I think all the counties will have passed it locally, and then the need of a statewide wouldn't be there.
Senator Rob Schaaf has been blasted for years because many have blamed him for single-handedly stopping a PDMP from Missouri. So it is possible that just one senator can prevent something so large from happening.
It is, unfortunately, and and that denies the people of Missouri their voice.
I went to his office twice and called multiple times only to be told he was no longer taking interviews regarding the matter. This is also something that hits close to home for the representative.
I'm very candid about, myself growing up in addiction, my children not being raised in addiction, yet my daughter became an addict. My sister was an addict at 16. My cousin died at 12 from long-term opiate abuse.
Her grandson was also born addicted to opiates. Rader says she's on board with the idea of putting money into a prevention program rather than just recovery.
You cannot go to a 30-day program, get your system clean, and come home and not be an addict anymore.
Heather Harlan says addiction specialists predicted this would happen 10 years ago. One good thing is that everyone I spoke to agrees there is a problem and that recognition in itself is a good start.
I think it will be what we have done with other drugs in the past, which we will begin to kind of get a handle on it. We will bring the numbers down.
I don't know what the solution is. I think it's a very complicated problem. We've definitely seen better knowledge of this. I think it's at least even in the past, probably say 1 to 2 years, from a side of both our governments and physicians and recognizing that this is a national epidemic.
Overwhelmingly, the House and the Senate has agreed that this is a necessary bill. Overwhelmingly across the United States, when you have all but one state that have passed this, are saying this is a necessary tool in the toolbox.
The Missouri legislature ended 2 weeks ago, and obviously without passing a PDMP. The next time it can even be brought up for discussion by lawmakers is in January of 2018.